So, with everything going on in the true crime world with Salty and the honeypots and the bees, I wanted to use this opportunity to raise awareness to the fact that we have a major problem with our bee population in our country today. So, I want to raise awareness to save the bees. Be the solution to help protect bees in crisis. Now, believe it or not, you have a bee to thank for every 1 in 3 bites of food you eat, as long as it's not barbecue. Honeybees, unless it's honey barbecue. Honeybees, wild and domestic, perform about 80% of all pollination worldwide. A single bee colony can pollinate 300 million flowers each day. Grains are primarily pollinated by wind, but fruits, nuts, vegetables are all pollinated by bees. 70 out of the top 100 human food crops, which supply about 90% of the world's nutrition, are pollinated by bees. Now, in the last 4 years, the chemical industry has spent $11.2 million on a PR initiative to say it's not their fault. This article responds with that gives us information on whose fault it really is. So in the U.S., winter losses have commonly reached 30 to 50%, in some cases more. In 2006, David Hackenberg, the beekeeper for 42 years, reported a 90% die-off among his 3,000 beehives. U.S. National Agriculture statistics show that a honeybee declined from about 6 million hives in 1947 to about 2.4 million hives in 2008. A 60% reduction. Now, this is a huge problem for us as humans because, again, we rely on honeybees to pollinate and provide food for us. So the number of working bee colonies per hectare provide the critical metric of crop health. In the U.S., among crops that require bee pollination, the number of bee colonies per hectare has declined by 90% since 1962. The bees cannot keep pace with the winter die-off rates and the habitat loss. So there are 3 things that can be done to help restore and protect the world's bees. So here are 3 things that we can do to protect the world's bee population. Number 1, we can ban the 7 most dangerous pesticides. Number 2, protect pollinator health by preserving wild habitat. And number 3, restore ecological agriculture. Another thing that we can do is educate ourselves about bees. Now, a lot of the beekeepers are finding out that in order to preserve and grow their bee colonies, the bees need salt. Why is it necessary for honeybees to have salt? Well, bees require salt for their metabolic processes and to carry back to their hives for larvae development. They need it for their babies to grow. Now, researchers found that bees in overwintering colonies with honey stores containing 0, and this was a problem, 35 to 1.16 salt, were dying prematurely. Refused high in flour or dextrins when added to water ferments and kills bees. Honeybees like sweet water, but they also need salty water, which may seem strange at first sight. The importance of dietary salt may explain why bees are often observed collecting brackish water. So if you would like to help, look into the organization Save the Bees US. Now you can help protect our pollinators. Now, yesterday I made this new t-shirt design. I am going to be rolling out these new t-shirts to help raise awareness for the bees and for the pollination and getting the bees population back up. Guys, we need to be concerned about this because, again, this is how we eat. This is how we get our food. So in order to raise the awareness of the importance of salt and bees needing salt, as well as the awareness of the dying population, I'm rolling out these shirts. $5 of every shirt sale will be donated to the Save the Bees organization. Now, bees are not just buzzing insects, they are vital pollinators essential for our environment, agriculture, and food supply. However, bee populations in the United States are facing unprecedented challenges. Pesticides, habitat loss, climate change, and diseases are threatening their survival, and we need your support to save the bees and protect our ecosystems. How your donation makes a difference. Habitat restoration, education and advocacy, research and conservation, and beekeeper support are just some of the ways that your donations will help fund crucial research and other things to help make sure that the population goes back up to where we need it to keep our food supply, where we need it so that we can keep eating and stay healthy. So thank you so much for your support. Keep an eye out for those new t-shirts that I'll be rolling out within the next few days. And remember, bees, keep it salty.
Welcome back to Gun Line. This is an evening edition, just about dark, but I'm showing you here. Got the bees little piece of corn cob there, old dried out corn cob. And what we're trying to do is help them with their salt intake. What we done is we mixed up some salt water, some sea salt, and some spring water. Poured it in a bowl. Then we took the corn cobs and we let them soak for a few minutes in that salt water. And we just brought them up here and set them on the entrance. We're going to let them pull on it for a couple days. And as y'all can see, they seem to be quite happy with it. I can get this light and camera to work at the same time. That one little girl there just, excuse that. Anyway, back in their salt water.
Now, I know Queen Bee over there acting like she didn't holler for Salty to come her way. But them bees, they need salt. They need a little Salty in their life, and they just don't even realize how much. But Salty goes over there, and they are just lapping that shit right up. Facts, honeybees. So with everything